Hi Aquarius, this is your forecast for the month of June 2017. This is a general reading for Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Rising, or Aquarius Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. You can watch your reading in 3 different ways: the full extended monthly, or for just the energy influence, watch the brief. Or if you prefer, watch the weekly for the upcoming week. Weeklies also make it easy for you to review information you may have forgotten in the full reading. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, and I invite you to follow me on Facebook, Google+, and Instagram. Please also check out my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/on-demand/findinglove for monthly love readings. So Aquarius, this first week of June, you start off with a major card. Now, some of you may have strong ties to a Leo. But this is going to be a week where you are drawing upon your strength. Maybe you're having to try to influence a situation. Maybe you're having to be patient about something. But you're trying to overcome some problem, and specifically through your willpower. This is a week for you to be confident, for you to have faith in your abilities, for you to be courageous, for you to focus on empowering yourself, on self-reliance. So you may be trying to heal something. Some of you may be come in contact with healers, or you may be in healing. Maybe you're trying to get over an illness. Some of you are in arbitration. Whatever it is, you are calm, you're steady. And this could be a week where you get the opportunity to use your best traits, the traits of a Leo: leadership, generosity, following your ambition, being playful, being creative, being driven with your passion. So there's something that you're facing that requires this strength. It's either an illness or a challenge or something you want to create. And at some point this week, you may need to step back from it because for whatever reason, maybe your confidence is flagging just a bit and you need to get some peace of mind about a situation. If you have some doubt, you probably are going to not be able to control your instincts, your anger, your passion, and your frustration, and end up channeling that destructively. This is a week where it's important for you to be mindful of that, because your physical self and your mental outlook is very much so tied together. It will affect you physically and health-wise. So this is about knowing what your strengths are and accepting what the weaknesses may be. There are some things that you simply won't be able to change, and so you're going to have to let that go. That may be difficult for you. The better option may be to start over, and yet you're still trying to hold on. So if you believe in yourself, if you believe in what you're doing, if you're giving it your all, if you're giving your best, then you're in a good place. And it's likely that your instincts and your intuition will help you make the right choices this week. And again, stepping back from a situation to rejuvenate it could be the very key where that intuition kicks in and provides an answer for you. This could be a week in the positive where you're riding high about something. You are gaining some recognition. There's some success for you. And so, again, you're living the best of yourself. You're being generous, you're being devoted, you're being loyal, you're being steadfast, you're being a friend, you're being a leader. Now, in the negative, this could be a week of fear if you're not using this energy constructively, if you're letting your doubt get in the way. Maybe you feel like you're going to disappoint others. Maybe you feel like you're going to fail, or maybe you feel like you're going to be alone or rejected. But this fear and doubt is not going to serve you. You're going to end up not getting your full potential, not getting what you could have if you had believed in yourself. You have to believe in yourself in order to manifest the reward that you deserve. Because this is all about our animal passion, and in fact, some of you, maybe there's a focus on animals this week, but this is about gaining self-mastery. Knowing your place versus that of others, your role versus their role. So this is not a week to blame other people for whatever's going on. This is not a week to blind yourself to truths. If there's a problem, then this is a week where you have to face it. You have to own up to that. You have to admit it and deal with it. And again, it could be that you're going to have to start over, and that's just the truth of it. So if you're not letting go of something, let's say some negative emotion, or you're stuck on something and can't get past it, then you are going to end up cheating yourself, because this card says that there are possibilities for you. As long as you appreciate self, as long as you love yourself, as long as you're confident, then you're going to move through whatever it is. So this is a week where, the strength to keep going, to maintain the fortitude is necessary. Now, the second week you have this Four of Pentacles. So there's a focus on your financial security. Maybe you're looking at the strength of your finances or the strength of a property. Maybe there's some issues connected to a property. If this is romantic, maybe you're looking at protecting your heart. But by and large, this is a card connected to finances. And so some of you will have connections to people involved in the finance industry, a financial institution. Maybe you're dealing with banks, loan companies, mortgage companies, wealthy people, and you're trying to protect what you have, protect your resources. You want some type of guarantee. So maybe this is the strength of a guarantee that you're seeking. You're trying to take control of a situation that connects to your material circumstances. Now, for some of you, again, it may be the strength to move away from something. You may be blocking some change, or trying to hold tight to something, or being too controlling, or you simply can't relax and let go and let things play out the way that they should naturally. In which case, this is going to be a week where you're going to be uptight. Maybe you're being too conservative. Maybe you're being too materialistic. But this is about possessions, property, and being territorial, and issues of ownership. So, whether that's another person or a particular thing. Now, for some of you, there is strength to a business endeavor that you're pursuing. There's the successful establishment of some type of enterprise. And you may be getting a breakthrough with regard to that. There could be some new insights, some new ideas, some sudden inspirations, and something you're involved in picks up strength and begins to take off. For others of you, this is going to be a week where maybe you get some unexpected news, or perhaps even a visitor. In the negative, this is about wasting your energy, wasting your money, your time, not being open, being mean-spirited, being too focused on self and financial issues. There could even be an unwarranted fear of poverty. And if last week you had any doubts or you were lacking confidence, you may be holding on so tightly to something because you fear some type of loss. And in fact, there could be some problems with your budget. You may be doing some unnecessary spending, or there could be some wastefulness, misusing resources. And again, we get back to this fear of failure. This week you're going to be very focused on your sense of belonging and your security, what that brings to you. So some of you you should be mastering your animal instincts, because there's going to be this urge to be impulsive in some way. This is a week where you're probably taking on a lot of burdens, dealing with some problems that you have brought on yourself, largely from trying to push too hard or trying to accomplish something. So this is a week to explore possibilities for yourself. Anything that would bring you gain, set you on more solid financial footing, a better job, new ideas for business, new clients, as long as you take a common sense, practical approach to people. Whatever it is, this is a week where you are examining where you're putting your time, money, energy, and resources. And for some of you, this has to do with the strength of someone. The strength of another person, perhaps, either financially or physically. And this could be a week where you're having to take care of someone financially or physically, even if you weren't expecting that. Or the strength of your business may be in question. There could be some setbacks, or you could be dealing with your own emotional or medical issues. Whatever it is, this week, there's a focus on self. And so you need to make sure that that's not self in the extreme, and where that becomes selfishness. You may be totally unaware of others, oblivious or insensitive to others' needs, because you're so focused on your own concerns, and you're not looking at things in the proper perspective. Once you do look at a situation, you may ultimately decide that this is just too much of a burden to bear. It's sapping your strength, and you need to get from up under it. Now, the third week you have this Queen of Swords. This could be you. This is air energy, or it could just be another Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, male or female, sun, moon, or rising, or just air energy is called for this week. So for some of you, this is about making some intelligent decisions. Again, using that will, focusing on your ambition, and using your perception, your judgment, and your intellect in order to make the right decision. So communication could be very important this week. Your determination, your sense of independence, and your career could be in focus. Some of you will need to stand up for yourself. And do you have the strength to do that? Last week, maybe you were afraid to rock the boat. You didn't want to push too hard. But this could be a week where you really need to determine, are you acting in your best interests? And do you need to stand alone to do that? Some of you, this is a connection to somebody that's going to give you some advice. Maybe this is a college professor, or again, a professional person. Maybe it's a lawyer or a judge. Whatever it is, it could be that this is somebody who's going to fight on your behalf using her analytical skills. This is a person who knows how to manipulate a situation to her advantage. Now, for some of you, this is rooted in hardship. Maybe this is a parent that's not involved. Maybe this is somebody who's very distant. Maybe this is about some experience of sorrow or disappointment, and hence the last card where you were trying to hold on to something. or trying to protect yourself financially or emotionally because of some hardship or disappointment. This could be a single person, somebody who's separated, somebody who's divorced, could be a single parent. This could be somebody who is angry because they feel as if they've been treated unfairly. Now, perception is very important this week. Somebody may be twisting the facts to their advantage, or they're twisting words and being very clever in order to manipulate a situation. Somebody may be bitter and hostile because of some emotional losses. Maybe there's some vindictiveness or some manipulation, or maybe there's somebody who is secretly not for you. So this is a week where either you or someone else, depending on how you use the energy, either you can make war or you can make peace. And so you get to decide how that happens, or it's going to come at you that way. But you're going to have a greater awareness. Your intuition is going to be sharp. Again, the Strength card says that your intuition is uncannily accurate. So you may be very bent on meeting a pursuit, whatever that is, a goal, an objective, a situation, a job, some business interest, a relationship. And in the process of that, you may sort of misrepresent yourself. You're not putting quite the truth out there. And if you're involved in something, you really have to question your motives. Is it that you're really interested, or that this connection, you've come together because you both have some past disappointments? You have a war history, some sob stories that you can trade back and forth. It could be that somebody's just, getting satisfaction of getting the affection of another person or the interest of another person, as opposed to really trying to create a real relationship. Now, this is a week where you're going to have to keep your wits about you. There's some things that may not necessarily be clear, and you're going to have to sort out truth from fiction. This could be a week where, depending on how you use this energy, maybe you're creating your reality. You're believing in your dreams. You're working toward a vision. But for others of you, again, you're needing to sort out fact from fiction. What is true? What is real? And so whatever, you may be involved with somebody where they're going to make a decision, but whatever they're involved in, it has got to make sense. This could be a week where you're connecting to somebody who obviously is very intellectually capable. They can hold their own in any kind of conversation. They've got a lot of opinions. In the positive, they're very tactful. Even though they know a lot, they may not be coming across as arrogant. Level-headed, fair. This is somebody who's going to want to stand on their own 2 feet, on their own terms. However, for some of you, maybe you're dealing with somebody who is somewhat bitchy. Maybe this is somebody who can emasculate others, can strip them of their strength. They're always right, even if they're wrong. So this can be somebody who is nagging, over analytical. They've got to be in control. They've got to dominate. They're difficult to deal with. And if you have betrayed this person or crossed them in any way, this is a very fierce opponent, and they're not going to make any bones about saying what's on their minds. So this could be a week, if that's the case, dealing with irrational fears, jealousy, antagonism, indecisiveness, having to compromise or go back over things and rethink some situations. If you're using this energy constructively, then it's going to give you, again, that intuitive awareness. You're going to be sharp and on point, and it's going to allow you to avoid any kind of oncoming disaster. And possibly at the last moment, you're going to come up with that quick solution and have that aha, I know exactly what I'm going to do now. Now, the last week you have a major card, so ultimately situations are probably to some degree beyond your control. There's a secretive element. There's something going on behind the scenes. And again, that queen, she's either acting as an advisor or she's doing something behind the scenes that's not constructive for you. This could be a week where you're dealing with a daughter, a sister, single women. Maybe you're connected to psychologists or counselors, people that are very sensitive. You may be doing some research into something. Maybe you're researching in order to make some decisions regarding property or business. And this is somebody that is in the know. They're going to be able to give you some good counsel and give you some advice because they're on that inside track. For others of you, if this is a love relationship, then this is somebody who maybe the relationship is more on the platonic side. And maybe somebody's withholding their affection. They're trying to make a decision about the strength of the relationship. Or maybe somebody's trying to protect themselves because they've even made a decision to break up. But this is going to be more intuition, more emotion to deal with. And people feel what you're feeling, whether you're speaking it or not. So this is a week where your relationships are being reevaluated and there's some changes being made, whether those are personal or professional, and particularly with other women. So in order to make good, sound decisions and avoid any kind of a disaster, it's going to be important for you to distance yourself from your mood and your emotion and stick to those facts. It could be that somebody is trying to be protective. You know, they're trying to make some decisions without allowing the other person their freedom of choice. And obviously this is going to create some friction. It could also be that you've gotten involved in something that you thought initially was your destiny. And remember, last week you were trying to sort out the truth of something. Is this real? Is this just a fantasy? So you may be deciding that, no, this was just a chance opportunity that came by, but I don't know if it's necessarily something that I want connected to my future. Whatever it is, this week is going to present something to you, either materially or through some kind of opportunity, and it's going to be conditional. You're going to have to consider it carefully. It does not come free of charge. For some of you, there is some manipulation going on, and maybe it's you or on the part of someone else, but they're taking a situation, and because they don't like the boundary of it, they're going to bend the rules a bit to change the game so that they can come out on top. Maybe, somebody's trying to eliminate the competition, or you're trying to get ahead, or maybe you're just trying to confuse somebody. So doing so could create a few problematic situations, and you may not be ready to deal with that. In the positive, this is a week of opportunity, of luck, of possibilities, where you're making decisions in order to take some kind of risk. But for others of you, depending on what you found out, what you've discovered, you may have to avert a disaster that could create a hardship. You may have to hold tight or watch your resources. So it could call for you to be more frugal. This is going to be a week where you're going to, again, reevaluate your situation, whether that is a relationship, how you feel about something, what your belief systems are, what your value is, some kind of promise that was made, some kind of a goal that you were trying to achieve. You're going to be looking at that and thinking, going over it and thinking, do I want this or not? What is the price tag for this? And the way to determine the answer is to listen to that intuition so that you can see things clearly. Now, the underlying energy is this Page of Cups. This is water energy. This could be a Scorpio, a Pisces, Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just water energy. Now, events may center around a young person, but if not, this is about an offer of some sort. Now, maybe somebody's being helpful. Maybe, there's creativity involved. Maybe this is about something artistic, creative, educational. There could be some training involved. Maybe somebody's trying to learn something or study something, particularly in connection to emotional issues. This is going to be a month where you're going to get some emotional news of sorts. Some of you may be focused on the service industry and offering your services to others. There could be things connected to nonprofits or public relations or human resources. So you may be very focused on coming up with a new idea or some new project that you're working on, or again, your services. This is also going to be a social month where there's going to be invitations to various events, maybe marriages, engagements, birth, parties, whatever the case. Situations where you can connect to others emotionally. Your thoughts and feelings about emotions or love is going to be important. You're going to be getting emotional messages. Some of you, maybe you're coming in contact with a friend. So you're going to find out that your feelings are going to be changing about someone. And remember, you are going to be reevaluating something and determining whether what you were putting in is what you were getting out. So for some of you, you may feel like a friendship is evolving. It's developing into something more solid. Or maybe you're with somebody and you're making some decisions and you're thinking that, maybe there was some issues that kept you apart, or there were some problems, but you're coming to this point where you're seeing the truth of how much you care about this person, and you're falling in love all over again in spite of whatever has happened before. For some of you, you just want to get out there and mingle, but for some of you, again, that reevaluation to determine whether, what you're doing is correct. You may feel like you don't want to go any further with this. Whatever it is, something has been traveling a particular course for quite a while of time. This is the month where it's going to change direction and go, in a whole new phase, whether that's positive or negative. So you're going to be able to reevaluate a situation with more honesty. If you were confused before, wondering if something was a fantasy, right? This is going to be a month where you're going to have the chance to get real, to be less idealistic and become more practical. And again, really decide if something is meant for you as part of your destiny. Now, this may involve giving and receiving love, or simply, having the courage to love yourself, to stand up for yourself, to say something is not appropriate for you. It could be that in the negative, there are issues of heartache, jealousy, selfishness, some type of deception, something threatening. And so you're going to have to think carefully, and sort through your feelings. Now, this is going to connect to your partnerships, your attachments to things, to situations, perhaps even to possessions, and whether they are worth what you think they are. And your decisions are going to be motivated by your sense of security, how well you belong, how much you're connecting, how secure you feel. And it's going to focus on, the strength of some type of decision, some connection, centering around some kind of promise or perhaps an invitation to something. Now, there's the possibility that you're going to self-sabotage, that you have the energy to move forward, but you're faced with some doubts. And so you convince yourself that, no, you can't do it. You talk yourself out of it. Or for others of you, you're in forward motion, but you're on shaky ground. So you're making progress, but just how long is this progress going to last? For some of you, maybe this is about some invitation. Maybe you want to travel, and yet there's some other issues taking place that causes some type of guilt where you're conflicted about whether you should go out there and do what you want, or maybe meet your responsibilities. For some of you, you want greater understanding from someone, and yet you feel as if you're not being supported. You feel isolated. Maybe you feel even rejected. All right, Aquarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know with your kind comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great month, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.